But yeah, Douglas is super consistent. He's a sound tackler, and he can make plays with the ball in the air. So huge guy, probably the one that fans didn't embrace as much as Bridges or Turner, because he was a former walk-on at Alabama, and then he went to Tulane, but a player who I think is going to play a ton for Florida this year.
I'm watching, speaking of DBs, I'm watching or concerned or curious, I would say that's a better word. I'm curious to what Jordan Castell is looking like. The transfers, we had a lot of different options at safety. I heard Josiah Davis is having a good spring camp as an early enrollee. Jordan Castell started as a freshman quite a bit last year. That it's tough to play that position as a freshman. But what's his development look like so far? Spring, heard any buzz?
He's not doing any contact. So he had shoulder surgery after last season, and I project him as a starter. I think Florida views him as a starter. I would say him and Asa Turner, the Washington transfer. But I think the reason you're not hearing buzz is that he's been in a non-contact jersey. Anytime you go 11-on-11, 7-on-7, he's not even doing some of the one-on-one drills when it's just DBs and receivers, because they don't want him re-injuring that shoulder.
So what are we looking at? And I know Harrison asked a question. Starting at safety, you have a couple of freshmen that are moving into sophomores. You bring in DJ Douglas, Asa Turner. What do you envision as rep count there in terms of who gets the most, who's next off the bench?
Yeah, I don't know. I think because after spring or summer, fall camp, I'll want to see, are you rolling with 4 safeties, leaving Bridges and DJ Douglas back there with Asa and Jordan, or are you just trying to get your best 5-6 defensive backs on the field?
Right.
And if that means Aaron Gates is playing backup and DJ Douglas is starting at star or at nickel, then that would change the rep count. So I think that still remains to be seen. Florida's got to get healthier. You're not really worried about Jordan Castell being out, or Justice Boone, or Miles Graham, Derek Wingo, Shamar James. Like the defense, I think, and maybe that should be a concern. Might be nitpicky, but like the defense is out. Like the linebacker room even lost Manny Nunnery for a couple of practices after a groin injury in the first scrimmage. So, like,
and he's coming back. I don't think we ever mentioned it on the show. He took his name out of the transfer portal, at least for now.
I mean, yeah,
it's an important note, Nick. Come on. This is a news show.
He went into the transfer portal and then came back and has been practicing. So I think he officially took his name out.
Nice.
But had mentally been out. But shout out to Dan. Credit Dan.
Just bringing the facts to the show. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that everybody gets their flowers and that nobody goes to the bar to meet with their friends. Like, yeah, well, Manny Nunnery is still in the transfer portal, because he's not. He was
making Stadium and Gale listeners sound smarter at bars.
I just want to make sure you know. So according to some intel notes that you have, some players that have also stood out that we have not yet mentioned on the defensive side of the ball: Devin Moore, Sharif Denson, and Josiah Davis. I think you mentioned him as well. Was it Teddy Foster that had the hit on Eugene Wilson?
Yeah,
that did the rounds. Shout out to Sarasota great Teddy Foster. Some guys. Billy Napier said this is the best we've tackled since we've been here, and I think in particular the secondary. That's news to our ears. Now again, we'll lace the pads up on August 31st, and we'll see. But those are things that you want to hear.
Yeah, I like that tackle drill. It was, I'm not sure if it was Oklahoma drill exactly what it was, but just great contact, great form tackle by a true freshman. In a real game, I like Trey Wilson to beat anybody on one-on-one open field. Like he's gonna make Teddy miss in a scrimmage, but it's a tackling drill and they gotta collide. Overall, you like to see that from Teddy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Man wins.
Yeah, low man definitely wins.
Low
You
man
got to
wins.
get low.
Low. All right. So
And
on
that drill is not.
Not Meg the Stallion low, Dan.
Oh no.
It's a different
That
type of low.
like you
Different
said
low.
about Eugene too, like that drill is like, hey, we're gonna cut both your feet off and just stick you here and not let you be what makes you a great player.
Right.
But just show us you're tough. I think that's what that drill is.
Correct.
But yeah, Teddy Foster's a guy who I didn't really hype up much or really know too much about, and the staff loves him. I think the emphasis on tackling, I can imagine what Will Harris thought when he's sitting on a plane back to California, watching cut-ups. I think what he thought because of how hard Florida went in the transfer portal right after that first signing period. And then every day they're just putting an emphasis on tackling. You can only tackle that foam donut so much. I like that they're, as safely as possible starting all the individual periods as a secondary together, working on tackling real people onto pads. The guys that are tackling or holding pads are doing it as safe as possible. But you're not tackling foam donuts on Saturdays. I think you need to practice tackling humans.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think we upgraded with the guys we got at Star? I think we got some legit bodies. Do you think we upgraded from what's my
Jaden
name?
Hill?
Jaden Hill. Because the season
I think so.
went. So
I thought Jaden Hill had the best season that he has had at Florida. He had 12 missed tackles. I think he was second on the team in missed tackles. But I thought he played well. But I think Florida, I really like Aaron Gates there. He's super athletic. And then I like if you put Bridges, Denson, or DJ Douglas there. So yeah, I like that position. I think you're legitimately 4 deep at nickel.
That's
very
great.
nice.
That's nice to hear. I certainly personally wish Jaden Hill the best.
The Aggie season will go as Jaden
Hill goes, right? And if I've said that the last 2 years, hope in Aggie Nation should not be very high with that.
You low key cursed us, bro. You low key cursed us a little bit.
I did. Maybe I'm the problem,
I would say
blame for a lot. Jaden Hill and John Ruiz have caused the 2 biggest issues in Florida Gator sports. No, it does seem this team has a lot of potential, right? There's a lot of potential upgrades. It's just a matter of putting it all together. That's going to fall on coaching, putting the guys in the right position as well. Let's move to any other thoughts on the defensive side of the ball before we move to the offensive side.
What corners? We good at corner? What corner? I haven't heard a lot about Jakeem Jackson. Heard Devin Moore is healthy and out there moving around a little bit, and he expects to have a great season and say this is the healthiest he's ever been. But what we're hearing at corner?
Best ability is availability. Devin Moore, I think, has like all SEC type of potential.